folks. Welcome to another installment of Plaid Stallions Toy Ventures. This week is a slight detour because I'm going to talk about a vintage property, but one that doesn't have a lot of vintage merchandise. The stuff that did come out is mainly in the 2000s to now. And, of course, I'm talking about the 1975 Shaw Brothers classic film, Infra-Man, or as it's originally known, the Super Infra-Man. Let me give you a little backstory. The Super Infra-Man is a Hong Kong-produced film that's trying to cash in on the popularity of Japanese superheroes like Ultraman or Kamen Rider. Is everyone happy I'm saying it right now? And it is truly one of the best ways to spend 90 minutes. It is action-packed, like wall to wall. It never gets boring. In fact, it kind of takes your breath away. Roger Ebert used to list it as one of his favorite films, and it was a good example of what is not technically a very good film, but a fun film, and I always liked that about him. I've had a love of Infra-Man since I first discovered it on VHS as a teenager. I'm happy to say that the poster hangs in my house, but as a toy collector, it's been slightly frustrating. I mean, there really doesn't seem to be any evidence of vintage merchandise. You hear rumors about something in Thailand or Vietnam, but I've never actually seen a physical item from this movie. That was until about the year 2000, when a convention in Hong Kong decided to do a limited edition series of action figures. And this is the series that I'm talking about. They're done sort of in the very popular at the time Medicom style. From what I can understand online, they list the manufacturer as Dog 9 Toys. Only 300 were made, and they sold out in one day in 2000. They made Infra-Man, pictured here, and the Henchman. And you may recognize the Henchman from Mystery Science Theater. That's because Joel Hodgson obviously loved the look and kind of stole it, which is a wonderful little Easter egg, especially for Mystery Science Theater. I'm not the world's biggest 1/6 guy, and I don't collect a lot of modern action figures, but there's just some times when your principles have to have exceptions, and this would be the case because there's literally no Infra-Man merchandise to purchase. I kind of do this with my other obsession, which is Phantom of the Paradise, and I will buy figures of that character no matter what they are. There was also a Medicom-style Kubrick set of these two characters. I actually owned that at one point, too, but I really wasn't into them, and I eventually sold them. The figures are really well made, but they are slightly problematic. Queen Dragon Mom's henchman, his staff is made of die-cast metal. It is heavy, and eventually it just pulls his hands off of his body. I usually find his hands on the floor of my office about once a month. In fact, before doing this video, I had to do hand search again. Infra-Man's belt is a little too short on mine, so it causes little problems. He has pieces that are really easy to miss. I should mention that he does come with alternate Thunderball fists, which I cannot find. I moved a while ago, and the boxes for these two are still MIA. I hope to one day reconnect with them, but, you know, this is why moving is a collector's nightmare. These are obviously very hard to find on the collector's market, but not impossible. In fact, you know, I searched for about 5 or 6 years until I found my set, and when I did, I couldn't believe that I could afford it. There's a slight defect in mine with the belts, which made them a little cheaper, but honestly, I just like to display things. I'm not a grading sort, so I was completely fine with that. It's nice to see that recently there have been some new developments in Infra-Man with some vinyl figures coming out of Japan that I actually love and picked up. And I hope to see, you know, another run. I would love to see, like, Amigo-style Infra-Man hit the shelves someday. Are you a fan of Infra-Man? Did you see it in the theater as a kid? I'd love your input, your feedback, as always. That's why I do these videos, is to hear from you guys and share. Hit me up on our Facebook group, Pod Stallions, or in the comments here. You can also hit me up on Twitter, @PlaidStallions. And, of course, you know, please hit like and subscribe if you like what you're seeing. Thanks as always, and I'll talk to you next week where I'll be live from Mego Meet, hopefully.